What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another 2022 NBA draft video to, of course, be going over with you guys. Again, I got a lot of feedback on my last one. A lot of you guys saying that I mixed up and made a mistake on some of the picks. You guys are exactly right. Again, the Pelicans ended up actually making the playoffs, which kind of screwed everything over for me at one stage because a lot of the picks ended up just completely getting mixed up. And again, we know that the Trailblazers didn't end up getting that second lottery pick, and it's actually now gone to OKC. So I'll actually have them selecting a player in this, again, one as well. And then now the Cleveland Cavaliers, would you believe it, have a draft pick, a first round pick in the 2022 NBA draft as well. So I guess I'll be starting off with the pick number 11. I really haven't changed things here. I've actually got the New York Knicks, of course, selecting Dyson Daniels. For those of you who don't know who Dyson Daniels is, basically, he's a 6'6" point guard who actually comes from Australia, who has actually been really, really good in the G League right now. I definitely feel like he surprised a lot of people. There's been a very big tradition with some of these guys, whether it's Australians or non-Australians, going to the Australian League to play professionally, and then the Australians going over to the Australian League or the G League to, of course, play professionally as well. Like, it's become a really big tradition. We saw Josh Giddey play in the NBL in Australia. We saw, of course, LaMelo Ball go down and play in the NBL in Australia. A couple of things has just really, really been happening, and Dyson Daniels has been one of those guys that's just gone to the G League, done really, really well, and I think the sky could legitimately be the limit for this kid. He has done a lot of good things, and I think he fits what the New York Knicks might, of course, be looking at, and that's actually a defensive guard that could potentially play make. Now, we've seen that when it comes to the Knicks, it seems like they want to keep Tom Thibodeau as their coach, and they've got a big point guard issue right now. Kemba Walker is, of course, going to be out for, again, he's never going to play a game for the Knicks again, really. We don't know if Derrick Rose will as well. It looks like they might be looking to trade him in the future to do kind of a fresh start situation. I know Knicks fans would love to keep him, but I just don't know if that will necessarily happen. So they'll probably move on from those two guys. Then you got Emmanuel Quickly. It just doesn't look like he's going to be a playmaker in the NBA. They're probably going to keep him as, a defensive two guard off the bench that can definitely shot create when he starts to get things going. And then again, I think they're desperately going to need a point guard. And if you're fully committed on Tom Thibodeau, there is a 6'6" point guard that can possibly guard 1 through 3, just sitting there, at the pick that they will most likely have. Again, he averages 11 points per game, 5.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And those 4.5 assists are actually pretty decent because this is in the G League, where, again, you're playing against professionals, so your playmaking might be a little bit off, here and there as well. So it's going to be really interesting. Again, he does show that he definitely needs to improve his offensive game here and there at sometimes, but his defense can just be really, really good. And I just think that he is a guy the New York Knicks should be looking to take, and maybe he's not necessarily good enough for 11, but I think you got to take a chance, and he is a dude you should be taking a chance on. Now at pick number 12, we've actually got the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have the pick now. Originally, I had Portland having the pick in my last video. Turns out, I was very, very wrong with them. They don't have the pick anymore. A bunch of different things happened. I don't know how this is, of course, all come about, but I think it was some type of protection from the Clippers or something, but because the Clippers didn't make the playoffs, I don't know, something happened. I think it confused a lot of people, and now OKC have the pick. I'm assuming this was, of course, a part of the Paul George trade. And again, now OKC have the 12th overall pick, which I'll have them selecting Tari Eason, who I absolutely love this prospect for OKC. I think they might legitimately get a steal from the draft if they, of course, do go ahead and get this dude. A 6'8" guy that can guard 1 through 4. Extremely good defender. he would just be perfect for them because, again, as most of you know in my mock draft, I actually have the Oklahoma City Thunder at 4 taking Jalen Duren. I've heard a lot of rumors that they might take a guy like Keegan Murray, which they very could do. But Jalen Duren really jumped up in the mock drafts. Again, originally he was like a pick 10 type of guy. Now some people have him going at 6, 7, and 8. And I think we've seen OKC jump the gun and take, Josh Giddey picks really early. I could see them doing the same with Jalen Duren. Because again, he's a 6'10", 6'11" dude. I think it's kind of bordering. Some websites say 6'11", some say 6'10". Let's just say 6'11". And he's being compared to Dwight Howard, saying that he's a really, really good defender that could be a really good lob threat in the NBA as well. A prime Dwight Howard. He's a dude who I think Sam Presti will 100%, I think maybe draft him a little higher than some would expect to play him as their new starting center. Then I think they'll be looking for a power forward long term, and that's where I think they actually take Tari Eason. Again, he's more of a small forward, but to be 6'8", able to guard run through 4, I think it would take time to get in there. But again, it's going to be really interesting. He's not much of a three-point shooter at this time, unfortunately, and his offensive game could use some work. But dude, the ability to guard 1 through 4, really, really elite defender. I think OKC definitely need to select some height. And if you're realistically looking at this, imagine rolling in with a young starting 5 next year that looks like Josh Giddey at point. Of course, SGA would be in there as their small forward. Lou Dort as the shooting guard. Then you got Tari Eason as the power forward and Jalen Duren as the center. Maybe go sign some guys to come play off the bench here and there. And you could be looking at a team that maybe looks to push for a play-in. You expect SGA might be an all-star next season. Josh Giddey, I think, will develop into a near all-star. Lou Dort is just getting better as a role player. Jalen Duren, I think, could be really nice. And again, get some role players off the bench. They've got some good coaching. I think OKC could definitely do something. And again, I would really like to see them actually take Tari Eason with the 12th overall pick. Now, when it comes to the Charlotte Hornets, there's a lot of guys who I think a lot of people are having them actually take. There's no one I think can really decide on who should the Hornets take. Some people are saying they need a center. Some people are saying they need a power forward. But there isn't a whole lot of good tall players that I think they can really take. Now, there is one guy who I will actually talk about for a second because I think he's kind of risen up in the mock drafts, and that's actually going to be Mark Williams, who is a center. This guy has kind of come out of nowhere, and I feel like a lot of people are actually talking at him again. I believe he's ranked around 18 to 19, but he's kind of risen recently. He plays for Duke College, and I think he's a guy that they could definitely take at 13, especially if they're looking for the height. I'm not completely convinced on this one. For example, I think I would actually have them taking Johnny Davis, to be honest, and that's who I'm probably going to have them taking. There's a lot of rumors that the Hornets are looking to actually make some changes. There's rumors they could be moving on from Terry Rozier. They've still got James Bouknight, who they want to give minutes to. I think Johnny Davis is a 6'5" shooting guard that averages like 20 points and 8 rebounds, like outrageous numbers. Can be a really good shot creator, I think, for this team. I think they quite possibly could go him just because he's best available. Rozier could definitely be moving on because he and LaMelo, I just don't know if I like the connection. Some people have been talking about them moving on from Terry Rozier for quite a long time now. That's who I'm saying, but yeah, maybe keep an eye on Mark Williams. Could he be a dude that, eventually rises in this draft? I feel like could definitely be one of those guys. But yeah, it is going to be really, really tough to maybe see how it's going to go. Again, Kendall Brown could still be there, 6'8", small forward, similar to Tari Eason. Both are very similar players who can guard 1 through 4. But yeah, this Hornets pick is a very hard pick to kind of, hit the nail with, but it's going to be really interesting to see. I might just go Johnny Davis because I feel like it's a little bit safer because he's like best available, 9th ranked in the class, and again, they're moving on potentially from Terry Rozier. Another guard could help, and yeah, who knows, Book Knight might get some minutes at point next season as the backup. That could definitely be the option as well. Now, with the 14th overall pick, one of the craziest things that I think kind of came out of this recently was the fact that the Cleveland Cavaliers have just done a wonder, and I guess they lost the play-in, and realistically, that Caris LeVert trade, they traded for Caris LeVert and gave up a first-round pick and 2 seconds in Ricky Rubio, but it actually ended up being a lottery-protected pick, and now the Cavs are in the lottery, meaning that they gave up basically 2 seconds for Caris LeVert because Rubio has never played for them. Really weird. I know, the Cavaliers just came out of absolutely nowhere, and a lot of people saying the Cavs could actually take this guy named Ochai Agbaji, I think it is. Oh my god, man, I've just absolutely butchered his name. I am so sorry. Everyone and their dad is saying this guy's name differently. It's really hard to get kind of a talent on how you say this guy's name. I'm going to go Ochai Agbaji. I think that's how you say his name. He's a 6'6" dude that can guard small forward and shooting guard. Really, really good 3-point shooter who definitely has the defensive tools to be a really, really solid player. Again, has been known, I believe, to be one of the best 3-point shooting 3-and-D type of dudes in this class, and I think that's exactly what the Cavaliers need. I think they've got a big issue when it comes to 3-point shooting sometimes. Rumor has it they're going to be moving on from Cedi Osman, who was super inconsistent from three at times. I think he averaged like 38% for the season, but he'd have one game where he'd hit like 5 out of 6 threes, and then the other game where he'd go 1 from 7 or something. Like, ridiculous inconsistency. Rumors they're going to be moving on from him. Isaac Okoro, no one knows what's going on there. They've been starting him, but his 3-point shooting has just been really bad. Caris LeVert's 3-point shooting was terrible on the Cavaliers and just legitimately could not space the floor for them. I think he fits in perfectly with JB Bickerstaff's game style of a really good defensive player. They can definitely, again, come in and add that 3-point shooting. And then really the only thing the Cavaliers need to do then is, I think, bring back Colin Sexton to be your backup point guard, I would assume. Be another shot creator off the bench. Again, pretty decent 3-point shooter. And then go and sign a backup center. Let's just say they sign a dude maybe like a JaVale McGee type. Then you're looking at point guard Darius Garland, shooting guard Caris LeVert, Lauri Markkanen at small forward, power forward Evan Mobley, Jarrett Allen at center. Then off the bench, you would have Isaac Okoro, Kevin Love, this new guy named Ochai, right there, a JaVale McGee type of player. I definitely feel like I'm missing someone here. Like Lamar Stevens, Dean Wade, and that are all still on the team. And if they keep Cedi Osman, he's there as well. I think this would be a really, really good pick, in my opinion, for the Cleveland Cavaliers. So that's who I'll have them taking at pick 14. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all the latest kind of NBA draft news and mock draft stuff, all that type of stuff. Of course, don't forget to comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Who do you guys think any of these teams should draft? Again, I definitely would really like to know. Don't forget to subscribe to my, my IRL/vlogging channel, my gaming channel. All of them will be linked in the description down below, and I highly recommend you guys, of course, going and checking them all out. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.